Waka waka waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch Transformers review, official Transformers review, and just another link in the chain today, another missing link in the chain. We're going to be taking a look at the C-03 missing link Bumblebee, the predecessor to our C-04, link in the description below to that review. And yeah, let's take a quick look at the box. Of course, we have a nice cartoon shot of Bumblebee, Takara, Tomy right on there, the toy shot of him in his Volkswagen Bug car mode. Got C-03 missing link on the bottom, and these boxes are just classic. It is a love letter right here. Got the Bumblebee in car mode, he turns into a robot, and he's got added articulation. On the side, more toy shots, C-03, and then of course got the Autobot logo and classic Autobot packaging. Other side, same picture, just a little bit different, and C-03 right there. And then of course on the back you have the classic, a little clashing shot of the Autobots and Decepticons. All the Japanese text I cannot read. You got the Volkswagen certified logo right there, and of course you have his little tech specs, which I did bring my decoder, and we can see how he looks. Sorry for the guy. Oh wow, his stats are like all over the place, man. It's like anyway, get a look at the bottom real quick, and it is a bunch of Japanese text that I cannot read. And of course we have the sad Pac-Man, which I will not do in the MGO voice, but you can imagine it as such. And that's gonna be pretty much it for the box. Again, I love how these look. This is part of the presentation. That's what this missing link is all about, the presentation. So let's get it open. By the way, I'm not gonna bust out the ruler on this review. Here's the Cliff Jumper box. He's another wee one. They're the same size. They're pretty much the same mold. So nevertheless, lightsaber noises as we are about to make the cut, and I'm probably gonna pause the camera so I can take this guy out of the box nice and carefully. I don't want to waste like freaking 3 minutes while I debox this guy, trying to get a cannot. There we go. Just trying to look for a little opening. I'm trying not to damage this box too much because I really like these figures. All right, now I'll be right back once I have the box open. And there we have the box open. Didn't take as long, but easily intimidating. And yeah, there we go. Let's open up the box. Now this is, of course, if you haven't noticed already, this is going to be exactly like the C-04, just an unboxing and a review. There's just not enough to take up 2 different videos here, and I know a bunch of reviewers have done this differently. You're just gonna have to shake your missing link box. All right, and there we go, and there he is, and he is like Cliff Jumper except packaged with a little less. We're gonna put him right off to the side and take a look at a few of his accommodating stuff right here. And of course we're gonna bust out my little cutting tool, lightsaber noises yet again, so we can take a look at his gear here, what he comes with, and all that good stuff. It's probably going to be most of the same as Cliff Jumper, so let's get all this out, and we'll take a look at the instructions first, and I'll get in. It's just a little page, just like Cliff Jumper, just nice and easy with everything. Try not to, even though everybody's like, this doesn't look like you're being easy on it. And of course, there you go, got the little Autobot symbol, missing link, a bunch of Japanese text, Takara, Tomy, and of course everything this robot does. Of course, looks like he stores the weapon in the same place. We'll save that for the review. And yeah, no, pretty overall simple instructions. It's G1, so how hard can it be? And take that away, we'll get out. He does come with the, of course, classic sticker sheet, pretty much the same as Cliff Jumper stickers. Now, I'm not going to put any of these on him, but once again, it is a nice sense of occasion to have these included along with the figure. I do quite dig them, and they do make for a nice classic touch. And then, of course, we get the little card here, if it will ever come out of the packaging, and you can see that it does have Mr. Missing Link Bumblebee on there. Of course, he's in a nice classic shot, Bumble, and of course has Cybertron on the back, looking menacing. I love that battle mask. And turn around, you got kind of a schematic shot right there. It is a very flimsy thing though, so there we go for that. And that's pretty much it for the card. Let's take a look at Mr. Missing Link Bumblebee. You just gotta kind of grab by the stomach, and there he is, and he just looks too cool. Let's separate the legs. There he is, and yeah, just like Cliff Jumper, and he does have a bit of heft, just a little bit of heft. Again, I don't think there's any die cast in this guy, but he feels like he is well made overall, and just that classic. Like, I'm not gonna talk about him too much, just because again, I want to save that for the review, which will happen in just a few minutes after this, but he looks great. He feels pretty solid overall too. And then of course we'll get a look at his gun. It's probably going to be the same as Cliff Jumper's. No. It's really packed in there. There we go. There. Oh, it's not the same as Cliff Jumpers. That is neat. I mean, it wasn't in the cartoon, but I don't know if they would go that far, but that is pretty cool. And it's done in a nice chrome silver plastic. I'm not going to say too much about it, but then again, that's really all there is to say about it. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this unboxing. I'll be back in about a few minutes. We're going to play with this guy. We're going to mess with him, and then we'll get on with the review. And let's get into Missing Link Bumblebee, the review section of this video. And a fun fact about myself, I actually had a G1 Bumblebee as a young lad. His arm broke off many moons ago, but fond memories of childhood, one of the few G1 toys I did have. And if we fast forward to modern day, this is actually the second Bumblebee figure I've ever owned in any variation. So of course on the head, get some nice silver paint, some of the only paint on the figure, no paint right here. But again, that battle mask, I love this face. And who would have thought Bumblebee would look like such a badass in G1? Got some venting detail on the helmet. You can see the little horns molded in there. A little bit more detail on the helmet. On the back side of the helmet, you got the chrome plastic and the little fan-like detail on there. A little air-cooled Volkswagen, and of course you got the little screw detail right there. He wears most of the body of the car all over him, so we're going to wait till vehicle mode. But he got some nice yellow plastic with black for the little window decals. Autobot symbol tempographed on there as well. And then of course you have the big yellow feet, which have the Volkswagen bits on them. Everything else done in nice black plastics with the chrome plastic for the wheels, and you got the rubber on there. Back cleans up just as nicely as Cliff Jumpers does. You got the hardware showing there, but again, looks really good. Everything nice and clean. As far as his articulation goes, his head does rotate. It can go down due to transformation. Nothing really up. I should mention that a lot of the joints on this guy are a little bit tighter than on the C-04, so just something to be mindful of between the two. Then of course you can bring the arm up and down on this hinge right here however you want to display it. You can have the arm out to the side about this far, rotate it all the way around at the shoulder. He does also get you some rotation at the elbow, and of course a nice 90 at the elbow. You do also have a butterfly, the same as Cliff Jumper. Move the arms out of the way because we can get up a nice fusion kick. He's got nothing at the waist, can't really do a fusion back kick, and can't really do anything out to the side. Does have some thigh swivel as well, and of course you can get ankle tilt or toe tilt for days, excuse me. And of course you can bring it back up. This joint right here, moving it back and forth, is kind of tight as well. You do got some ankle tilt as well, just like that. And of course you do have a nice 90 at, I guess, what is supposed to be his knee. And that's pretty much it for his articulation. And he does come with one accessory. Of course he is Bumblebee. He is the sweet boy. So of course he just comes with his blaster done in the black plastic here. Very G1 void of detail, which is okay by me. You got a little bit of mold. You got a trigger molded in there. You got a little fin molded on your little capacitor thing, and it does look very cool. And of course you got the peg on the bottom right here, and he can hold that in a little peg on his hand. Just gonna kind of shove it in there. It is a bit of a tight fit, but he holds it nice and firmly, and don't mess with this bee. He will sting you. And of course you can store this very similarly to Cliff Jumper via this port right here. You do got the same port on the foot, and you just kind of shove that in there. And this is mostly for vehicle mode, but it looks nice and out of the way in robot mode, and that is just how I like my weapon storage, especially since Bumblebee is a bit more of the child of the group. And that's pretty much it for his one and only accessory. And before we move on, we'll do a couple quick comparisons. So we'll bring him in there with a modern version of himself, the buzzworthy Bumblebee, and get him sitting a bit more straight so you can see. And they're both kind of wee in their own respects. And of course we'll bring in one of the standard Masterpiece Carbots, Mr. MP17 Prowl, and you can see just how wee they both really are against the Masterpiece line. And we'll get these guys off the table because it is time. Let's get an update on how that collection is coming, and we'll bring in his mold mate, Missing Link Cliff Jumper, and then of course Optimus, one to rule them all. And as I stated in my Cliff Jumper review, the scale is actually pretty dead on here, and they look great together. A nice update to the classic G1 toy collection. And there we have it for our comparisons. And let's talk about his alt mode. And yes, I did skip the transformation because he is pretty much exactly like C-04 Cliff Jumper, no changes whatsoever. But I will do the reverse transformation later in the video. So let's talk about his Volkswagen Bug Penny Racer mode, and this looks really, really good. Again, you got the ridiculous wheel arches. He's all mini and tiny, just like Cliff Jumper. Actually, I think this guy's put together a little bit better than Cliff Jumper in terms of the molded detail. You got the black for the windshield and side mirrors and whatnot, and of course you have the door molded detail, Autobot symbol on top, got a little roof curves right in there, and the front end just beautifully done. You got the little gorgeous curves, the typical of the Volkswagen Bug. Got the headlights molded in there, and then of course you have in black plastic the front bumper piece. You got the little side beams right here. It looks really, really good. And then if we go to the back, of course, look at that. He's got exhaust tips molded in. Yeah, right here. So exhaust tip molded in right there, looks like. And again, just that bumper really molded nice and well. Very clean on the bottom as well. Got the Autobot rub symbol. Don't need to rub it today. Of course, he's an Autobot. What else would Bumblebee be? Got the Volkswagen down on the bottom right there. And of course, he does have nice chrome silver plastic for the tires with the pins in the middle. Clashes really nicely. Doesn't look too out of place. Big rubber tires, and yes, they come off just as easily as Cliff Jumpers, so watch that when transforming him. And he will roll like a champ, except he stopped. Let's get a little bit better for him. There we go. Yeah, he'll roll just as well as Cliff Jumper. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his vehicle mode. The weapon, of course, we would previously store that inside him. Tucks away nice and tidy, out of sight, out of mind, just how I like it. No ridiculous weapon storage here. And we'll get him in there with a couple quick comparisons. So first, we'll do the typical Studio Series comparison with Hot Rod. We'll do the comparison with our Masterpiece MP18 Streak, so you can see how he looks with those two. And of course, let's get the rest of the missing links in there. Let's link the chain. We're gonna make it the chain. We'll get him in there with, of course, Big Papa Optimus, and then we'll get him in there with the C-04, his mold mate Cliff Jumper. And again, you can see how these guys are shaping up, and looks right out of childhood right here. So again, awesome vehicle mode. And that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. And so we're saving transformation to the last bit. Why? Because this is basically just a remold of the C-04 Cliff Jumper, or rather Cliff Jumper is a remold of him. So the transformation is pretty much the same. So of course we're going to do what we do with most of our remolds here. We're going to do the reverse transformation. If you want to see the transformation into car mode, check out my missing link Cliff Jumper review. Again, link in the description below. So let's get this down and done. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here and just start at the bottom, just kind of pull out, unpeg his hand, and then just kind of pull up his arm. And then what you want to do is you want to rotate it at the elbow here, so his hand is just like that. Same thing with the other one. We're going to pull this out, we're going to bring this out and up just like this, and then we're going to rotate his bicep, bring up the head just like that, and we're almost there. We're going to pull down the legs, just kind of unclip it and pull them all the way down. You really want to make sure that this back section is pulled all the way down, because that can affect its articulation. And this is tight on mine, but you want to rotate them up nice and easy. It's a really tight joint on my copy, tighter than Cliff Jumpers. And you spread the legs, and like magic, there we have C-03, Missing Link Bumblebee in his robot mode. And let's sum it up for Missing Link Bumblebee. And this kind of puts me to real Doc on the Bay kind of mood. And yeah, another home run for the Missing Link collection, in my opinion. He is the G1 toy turned up to 11. Got all the simplicity of that classic toy with a little added complication for some extra spice. Got loaded with articulation, especially for the size of the figure. He is just a wee one, just over 3 inches, less than an inch tall in car mode. Car mode is done beautifully, actually a little bit more detail than the C-04, and transformation is still as smooth as you remember it, with yet again a couple added twists to account for his newfound articulation. Got all the details where it counts, comes with all the accessories where it counts, and he even has a little bit of heft to him given the design construction. Another solid recommend from me. It gets me more excited for seeing where this collection goes. And that said, if you want one of your own, you can check out the Chosen Prime. That is where I got this one. I'll put a link in the description down below. That is going to be it for this review. So if you like this review, if you like this content and found it fun and informative, hit that like button down below. I greatly appreciate it. It does help me out. Also, if you're a fan of Transformers reviews, both official and third party alike, both Masterpiece, and Mainline, and now Missing Link alike. Consider giving me a subscribe. Thank you so much to the 700 plus of you that are. It does help me out. And that'll wrap everything up. I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making me a part of your collecting journey. Good night.